Hey everyone, so in this session we're talking about some strategies that can potentially help you graduate from college earlier. Now, of course, these strategies aren't going to work for everyone, and of course, they're not designed for everyone. There are going to be people who attend college at different stages of their life, some people right out of their high school experience, and some people a little bit later in life as well. So, of course, depending on your specific needs, you might have different preferences as to whether or not you want to graduate a little bit quicker and accelerate some of your studies, or if you're completely fine going through the traditional semester-based system, taking your summers off to maybe intern or work to offset some of the tuition costs that you're going to pay throughout the year, and are just generally trying to enjoy the entire experience itself. So one of the strategies we actually want to talk about is something called a Clep exam. A Clep exam is a great way for somebody to actually take an exam that will demonstrate their proficiency in a particular subject area. Now, this might help you at certain universities that do accept these types of exams bypass a first year course that might allow you to take some more advanced courses and work towards something that you're more interested in, or want to get some specialization in, but it'll also allow you to maybe take some upper year courses a little bit quicker. Now, this is not only great because it might prepare you for graduate school a little bit quicker, but it also might allow you to potentially even take some graduate courses eventually throughout your undergraduate experience, and maybe even graduate with a bachelor's and master's degree in a much quicker period of time than you would if you were to have to do everything ordinarily. So of course, Clep exams isn't something that's going to apply to everyone and to all institutions. It's really going to be up to you to research whether or not your institution actually accepts them, and whether or not it's something that's actually going to be beneficial to you and will help you meet your specific goals. Another thing to actually consider is taking transfer courses. So if you're coming from a community college, and your particular institution will accept transfer credits, then this might be something that's going to be interesting to you. Another thing to consider is also taking courses throughout the summer, whether it's at your particular institution, or maybe it's going to be at another institution that offers maybe even distance education that you can take there and actually transfer to your particular university to offset some of the courses that you would have to take traditionally. This is great for people who are also going to be working during the summers as well. It's an awesome opportunity for you to take maybe one or two courses part-time, especially if it's going to be an online type of course. If you can do some of your electives this way and be able to transfer them over, then that's going to be something that will hopefully allow you to accelerate your studies, in addition to maybe even getting some work experiences. For those of you who want to accelerate it even further, maybe you can take even more courses throughout the summer months, if your school actually permits this, and this is something that might allow you to finish in a little bit of a quicker time than you would otherwise be able to. The next might actually be taking extra courses throughout the semester itself. Now, one of the things to keep in mind about this is there are some universities that do have regulations against this. So you might not actually be able to take even more courses throughout your traditional semester system. They might have a cap in the number of courses you can actually take. So it's something for you to look into in that regard. However, one of the things to consider is sometimes in your upper years, if you have a couple of credits short from graduation, some universities might allow you to take a few extra within a particular semester. If this happens to be an area that you fall into, and this is something that you want to actually pursue, one of the things I do recommend is that you balance the course load. And so if you're very good at quantitative courses, then taking a few quantitative courses, but also taking some courses that have different methods of learning and different methods of teaching, so that you can kind of balance the type of work that you're going to be doing. Maybe you have a few courses that have essay writing, and other courses that are going to be quantitative. So that way you're kind of balancing your course load and balancing your attention across a variety of different things as well. Another thing I highly recommend is if you're going to be doing this, I highly recommend you spend some of your time either in the summer months or just some of your personal time really researching a lot of the topics that are going to be covered in at least a few of the courses. And the reason for this is there's a lot of great resources online, whether it's Khan Academy, massively open online courses, open coursework, a bunch of different things you can look into that will help you learn a lot of the concepts before you actually get into the class. This way, if you have a very, very heavy semester, you can kind of offset this by the fact that you actually have some background knowledge in some of the courses that you're already taking. So this way, while everyone's learning it for the very first time, you're actually reviewing a lot of the coursework. It'll allow you to get through it a lot quicker, but it'll also allow you to focus a lot of your personal time on some of the other courses that are going to be much more challenging or much more time consuming to you personally. So this is something that I highly recommend you do if you're going to be taking a semester that you're going to be overloading on, or even just a general semester in which you feel is going to be very heavy and you want to get a lot of required courses out of the way in that regard as well. Another thing to really consider is internships for credits. And so if you're able to take an internship, you're able to get some credits out of that as well. Maybe it's even through the general, you know, school year while everyone else is in school. So maybe you're doing a 4 to 8 month semester term. You potentially could even take some courses in addition to that if your school will allow you to do so. Maybe 1 or 2 nights per week, or even doing something through distance education, whether it's at your institution or at a different institution and transferring over the credits. Really does depend on your specific institution and what they actually allow. But this might also be something interesting for you to consider so that you can get the best of both worlds. You can get your work experience, you can get the credits that you need, and potentially you can get even more credits than you would otherwise be able to get if you were to do just a standard semester-based system. Now, one of the things to consider about accelerating your educational studies is really why you actually want to do so. If it's just doing so for the sake of doing so and you're not necessarily as focused on your studies, you're not taking a whole lot out of it, and you're actually really sacrificing the marks that you could potentially get, then maybe that's not the best reason for you. However, if you feel like you can really handle the course load, you feel like it's going to help you save on some tuition, potentially if you're able to transfer in some credits from community colleges or other institutions that don't charge quite as much in tuition, then maybe it's something for you to also consider as well. I really do think that there isn't a cookie cutter approach to this. I think that it's really going to depend on your specific goals, your specific needs, and what it is that you're looking to get out of your university experience. I will caution people that try to get through things a little bit too quick at the undergraduate level, particularly if you're interested in professional studies or graduate work, because this actually can limit you and where you're actually able to get in based on the marks that you're able to get. One of the other things I really want to emphasize is really the fact that I think that summer semesters are really underutilized by a lot of students. I think that it's a great time for a lot of students to get internships in, absolutely, if you're able to do so. But if not, and if you're just working a job that's maybe part-time that gives you a little bit of extra bandwidth, then taking courses during the summer is an absolutely amazing thing to do. Not only because of the fact that you can get some courses out of the way, you can get a head start on the upcoming year, but also because a lot of summer classes tend to have much fewer students in them. So you have a lot more opportunities to have one-on-one interactions with the professor to be able to really understand the concepts that are being taught. Of course, it's probably going to be a little bit of a quicker semester than it would be traditionally, given that it's going to be the summer months. However, the fact that you have much more support on a one-on-one basis, in a lot of cases, this is obviously going to depend on the specific course and the specific institution that you're taking this course at. But given the fact that you're able to spend a condensed period of time and really devote it to that specific subject or subjects, if you're taking multiple courses, I do think can benefit a lot of students who really want to get a head start on the upcoming year. So hopefully this provided you with a few suggestions. Obviously, the full range of options that are going to be available to you is really going to depend on the institution that you're going to school at, but also what the regulations are at that particular institution and what is going to be right for you and your future as well. So hopefully this acted as a great introduction for your future research as well, and hopefully you appreciated this. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. Leave some suggestions for future segments in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much again for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.